Hello everybody. Still recovering from a bit of a sunburn. I actually recorded a couple things, decided they were too long, decided I needed to start over, and yeah, so here I am. This is Chloe. It's been a hot minute. I had relatives and all the stuff happening, and then I got the beautiful creatures, and I know I did that kind of long video, and I thought I should do just a shorter one. That's my goal, is to learn to do shorter videos, get the pertinent information in them, and rock it, and have it be a little bit less umming and like drawing out so much. I mean, if you don't mind it, great, I'm glad you like it, but I feel like I need to make it a little bit more concise. So the second edition of the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. I love how the book is colored. That's one of the changes that happened with this edition. There is, I don't want to go over all the things I did in that long one, but I just wanted to cue in on some changes that I was made aware of by watching some other videos of the first edition of the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. The box is still gorgeous. It's that kind of lift lid box, all that stuff that I mentioned in my other video. These are all things that have been kept the same. What is different this time? And I also wanted to show the lovely gilding. So give me one moment to pull it out of the box. I actually, as much as I know people love these flip boxes and the dividers, I actually find it a little hard to slip the cards out of this box as easily as some of my other containers. I usually have to pop these extra pieces out that are towards the top of the card so I can get in there and grab the deck out. I have kind of short fingers and a little bit stubby. Maybe that's an aspect. And I keep my nails short. It's part of my sensory integration thing. So yeah, but let me show you. Outside, I know you could kind of see the gilding, but oh my god, gorgeous, right? And I'm sure there's been a couple other people showing the gilding. It's so cool, so lovely. The other thing is, and I know I mentioned in the video, but I just want to restate this. This one's a matte finish compared to the original. So the second edition is a matte finish. I really like that, especially for like when we're doing videos and stuff and we want to be able to make sure that people can see the cards and we're not fighting against the glare of the light. You still see a little bit of light stuff going on, but when you have like say a real glossy glossy finish, it's so much more intense, right? And I got the Astora. I'll do a different video on that. But so the changes in this one, aside from being matte and have that gorgeous violetish, awesome gilding, it's just so gorgeous. I love it. It's like a treat just to get it out and like shuffle to look at that. Now these are kind of a wider deck, and then on top of it, it's like I guess some people are saying it's like Oracle style cardstock, but this is Jasmine Rebecca Griffith and her artwork is just so gorgeous. So I do want to point out a couple things. One, I know some people didn't like the awkward wording that used to be on the Minor Arcana suit cards. They would have things like 8 of Fires, 6 of Earths, that kind of thing. And people I had heard found that kind of awkward. I think they were really, I was looking at the book and it's more like they were just carrying over the idea of 6 of Wands, 6 of Earths, or 6 of Fires, that kind of thing. I don't think there was a lot of complex thought in that. And if I'm wrong, people, you can leave a comment or whoever, let me know. But I kind of find it coincides with that. And then another thing they did, and I did mention it in the video, is that they have these little oracle key terms at the bottom in lavender, okay, in that purple bottom border, okay. Let's see if I can get this focus a little bit better. Come on, Bubba. There you go. Maybe a little bit. Sometimes my camera works really well, and other times it's just, as you know, a little bit of a pain. But it's usually a little bit less grainy than if I try to just use my laptop webcam. So yeah, so that's 2 things. They now have like cups, wands, discs, whatever they have for the titles, that is more similar to the original wider weight labeling of the cards. I'm going to look at the book real quick because it's just a little bit faster than me trying to flip through my decks. So swords, cups, wands, and I wanted to, oh, pentacles, pentacles, because some decks have coins or, you know, discs or whatever, but it's pentacles. So, but in the book, they do talk about those similar things. The earths and those different kind of representations are still maintained. And then the next major thing, next major difference is that they explain a little better about the court cards. How, let me find that page. How, here it is. It's like pretty much on the on the introduction page, it says the pages have been replaced by flower fairies. And then the knights, kings, and queens have been replaced by astrology signs. That is true, but let me just pull one of the court cards up. Okay, so the King of Cups says King of Cups. And what I think they mean by replaced by astrology signs is that instead of showing the typical King of Cups look, and they are all female, okay, so they kept the energy of the meaning of the card and that type of person in there, but not necessarily the male-female, like if it's supposed to be a male or a female dynamic, just the energy of that type of situation or type of person. And then, like, they have the symbol for that sign, whichever one it is. I am not the best at remembering all the astrology signs. I do recognize several very easily, but there's some I just haven't worked with as much. But there was one other thing. So again, now it is clearly labeled King of Cups and so forth. The only ones that aren't labeled like that are the pages, which are flower fairies. And finally, what was the other thing? Oh yes, and I've shuffled this deck, so let me pause and pull up the two cards I want to discuss, okay? I will be right back very quick. Okay, I think I got it. Put them in order, and basically, if you know anything about this deck, it has the court cards in astrological order. They've always been associated with astrological signs, or astrology signs, and they talk about it in the book as well. But basically, as I said, they're now labeled, you know, king, queen, knight, and page. And the pages, again, are the flower fairies now. But the ones I want to focus on are the astrology ones. So like I said, it definitely has the tarot labeling, and then it still has the little key term. And then in the picture itself, it has the symbols of the different astrology signs, either as a symbol on the arm or somewhere, or on the clothing or something, and also a planet or a constellation that's associated with the astrology sign associated with that suit card. Now, the only conflict I have in any of this, and I'll just show them again because I hadn't intended to show the whole deck. So we have the Queen of Wands starting at Aries, and then the King of Pentacles is Taurus. Yeah. Or sorry. Yes. Queen of Pentacles. Taurus. The Queen. Alright. And then the Knight of Swords is the Gemini. And I believe the Gemini constellation is in the stars there. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is connected to Cancer, and this one they're saying is ruled by the moon, and I'm not sure if they're also showing the star system as well, but they are showing a crescent moon. And then we have Leo with the wands, I believe, and I'm just making sure. I used to know these by heart, all the astrology signs, but I got away from using them as well. So here's the Knight of Pentacles, and it has the symbol of the planet is supposedly Mercury, and it's associated with Virgo. So Yeah. And the planet might be amongst the plants there, but I'm not sure. You guys know, let me know what part of the star or constellation you might think it is. Okay, and then here is the Queen of Swords, and she is associated with Libra, and you can see the symbol on her arm. And this one has a planet and a constellation, I believe, there. She says Venus with Libra. The reason I'm pointing this out is that there's a little bit of a conflict in one of the couple of the characters. The King of Cups is with the Pluto and Scorpio. Okay, ruled by Pluto, and the symbol is Scorpio. And then we have the Sagittarian or Sagittarius with the symbol and the animal type, and I believe that's both the planet and part of the constellation is there, at least the planet. So my thing is I'm not sure that all the planets are correct in this deck when it comes to associations, and that is because of the one of the next 2 or 3 coming up. One of the ones in the next few coming up I'll explain. So this is Queen of Pentacles. Again, I don't always remember they say it's connected to Capricorn and Saturn, the planet, which is awesome. It's my dad and my grandma's sign. And then we have the King of Swords, which is connected to Aquarius and the planet. And finally, we have the Knight of Cups. And this is Pisces, evidently. So here's my issue, folks. And otherwise, I really do kind of like the representation in here. But my issue is that the Queen of Cups and the, let me find the other one real quick. Sorry, I meant to slide it out. Don't know if I did. So the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, not the Queen of Cups, okay. So this is the Queen of Cups, and this is the Knight of Cups, right? Now, in the book, they actually say that both these are associated with the moon. But on the Knight, they have the planet, I believe this should be the planet Neptune. I could be wrong. I just know that there are 2 different planets that are connected to Pisces. I tend to think of the moon to be connected to most water signs, or all water signs, because the moon is connected to the waters. But I do know that there's other planet associations. My objection is that the only association they share for the Knight is the moon again, but they don't show the moon on the card. And I believe it might be in the star constellations for the Pisces constellation being there. And I don't even think that the picture is wrong. I think that the book is wrong on the labeling on what planets are associated. So aside from that, though, I think this is really well done. And I kind of like that idea. I don't use a lot of astrology anymore because as an intuitive reader, I feel like if you use astrology as shortcutting and almost a little bit like cheating. But if that's what you tell people, you mixed in astrology with your tarot and oracle or types of readings, then that's, totally cool. Now, you might also like to know, and I think I did say this, that the wheel card has a dice, and it is the same as the book in the cover. This is what's on the book in the cover. It's your 10, the wheel card, matching this picture instead of the one it did previously. And I don't know that they changed any artwork aside from the backs and the borders a little bit. There's no swirlies on this side, that you still find a little bit of the swirlies on the backs that was present in the last edition. And instead of is it incubus or succubuses on the backs, they have like dark angels, whom are really lovely. And I think it's awesome that it's reversible. It was before, it still is. So yeah, just a few pertinent changes that I think some people will like. And having the having the pages, even though they say they're simply the flower fairies, or you could even think of them as like how you might think of the aces as elemental cards. Having the page of pentacles or whatever suit it is on there now makes, I feel, the pages a little bit more readable. Plus they also do have nice little keywords. I know some people were saying that the art, it definitely looks kind of like it could be anything or part of just her artwork collection. But I feel that adding those like the key terms on the bottom and having it nicely labeled the way it is now might help some people who are learning court cards or who really enjoy the rest of the deck. Because I have noticed what some people were saying, how the art doesn't necessarily all match, but I feel that if you that some of it really does well, especially if you do take the time um, to read the book and get a feel for it all. So yeah, that's my few minutes here. I don't want to make this any longer. It's of course gorgeous. I love the matted finish because it's lovely to hold. Big cards like these are kind of nice when they aren't too slippery, because then you're not scrabbling from going every which direction when you're trying to shuffle and whatnot. But and the gilding is just such an awesome, nice touch to the whole package that I have small hands, so these are a little bit much, but I actually find bigger decks like these that are kind of wide easier for me to try to figure out shuffling than narrower decks like, say, this is the next one I'll be doing a little video on, and I find it a little hard to shuffle these because I do kind of a side ruffle shuffle or riffle shuffle like this. But you chance bending the cards when you do that when they're too narrow. So I'm having to relearn to shuffle a different way with this deck, which is fine. I usually adjust my shuffling to however I feel I need to for a card stock. And the Beautiful Creatures is a bit of a larger deck, reminding me of kind of the size of the Dreams of Gaia. But I really like it, and I love this rich silvery yet purple gilding that we have here. It's just a lovely deck, and the matte finish is awesome. So I'll end it there. I hope that was a lot of awesome information. Again, one last thing, the book is in color. The areas are very nicely labeled. There's nice individual sections. Every time you go to like a dark area, you know you're getting a new section to read on, so it makes it a little quicker to find stuff. And I think the presentation is awesome. So I really hope you enjoy this deck, and I hope this was a little bit easier to go through than my longer video. All right, bye-bye. Kisses to everybody. Talk with you later. Peace out.